Okie dokie. Well, welcome everybody. This is Picroscopy, or a quick live coding demo of how to integrate the camera into an application. To give you a quick bit of background, my wife works as a lab technician at the University of Manchester, and aside from playing around with extraordinarily complicated and difficult equipment, which I can't possibly understand, one of her other tasks is to deal with microscopes. And at the moment, their method of taking images through microscopes is basically to take an extraordinarily expensive DSLR camera, strap it to the top of the microscope, peer down it and go, it's more or less in focus, isn't it? So we thought there may be a better way of doing this. They've been wanting an electronic system set up for ages whereby they can see a live preview on the screen of what's going on under the microscope and then take images of that digitally. They've tried with webcams in the past. The major problem is that webcams are nothing like high enough resolution. You need a good few megapixels if you want to get up to, say, 300 dpi for publication quality, which is obviously what they're interested in as scientists. So, along comes the Raspberry Pi camera, 5 megapixel camera. That'll get you up to about 600 dpi on half an A4 page, so good enough for publishing. So the question was, can we do this? I sat down and wrote a little thing called Picroscopy, and that was initially with Raspberry and Raspberry Vid. It worked tolerably well, but this is what eventually led to the development of the Pi camera library. Meanwhile, a guy called Dave Cox down at the University of Surrey has been doing something similar. He's been attacking it from the other end, going, don't know much about software, but I can probably do the hardware bit. He's come up with a really neat way of mounting a Raspberry Pi on top of a microscope, as you can see here. Now, hopefully he's going to send me the design for that. We've been corresponding over email, and when the University of Manchester gets their 3D printer sorted, we'll be able to make one of these. But in the meantime, I'll have a look at the software and how we build such a thing. So, all I've done downstairs is slap together a very, very quick skeleton web application. You can see that basically you don't need to understand all of the detail here. A lot of this is boilerplate. So all we have here is a whole bunch of root, the index, we've got, after something.html, I want to render a template, for something.jpg, I want to render an image, and we have various actions like capture, configure, and clear for the library. So all this is basically boilerplate. You don't need to understand any of what this does. You'll find it in any web framework, Django, Pyramid, Flask, any such thing. All we have to do is fill out the handles, what we wanted to actually do. So template rendering, imaging, and that's the whole of the application, that's it. At the moment, it's less than 100 lines. So how do we add the camera to that? Well, this is where the Pi camera library came in that we did this morning. So we import Pi camera. And we're going to do self.camera is picamera.camera to initialize it. We would start a preview so that we can see something on the screen. That's ominous. Something horrible going on with the Pi. Something horrible is going on with the Pi. Anyway, we'll see. We always need to uninitialize the camera to the end. We're going to close, and we want to ensure that that close runs, so we have a finally block at the end to close the application. Ooh, that's just not writing, is it? Well, we shall see how this goes. Oh dear, the Pi is quite dead, isn't it? Okay, tell you what, let's give that a oh, we can't even find that. It's not good at all, is it? This is because I've been banging around with this all afternoon. Let's see what's up with you.
Or your pass setting, usually do user spin reboot.
Yeah, let's have a look at that. Right, we haven't got sudo, we're not going to get root, so. That's not got anything. Good. Yeah, not even mount. Right. Yeah, that is time to kill and retry.
This is it, switching it off and switching it back on.
Yeah, this is very much the Windows method.
I'll get the top of the screen.
It's looking good. It's looking good. Vaguely hopeful this.
That's control over
Well, there's a keyboard plugged in it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
A keyboard plugged in on there. No, it seems to be booting happily, so that's good. Should be back up in a moment. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's lost its connection, but that's fine. Not to worry. And there's this. Right. You going to give me your IP address? Feeling like it anytime soon? Let's try it. Yep. That works.
Yeah, there you go.
Lovely. So, back into our view. And we shall get our environment back. And there we go. Cover it. Okay. So, back to where we were. Let's import my camera. And do self dot camera is my camera. Self dot camera dot start preview. So we see something on the screen. Let's add our stuff back in here. And we should be ready to go in a moment. Camera not closed. Right, let's try running it. Now, hopefully we will see your wonderfully beautiful faces on the screen at some point when it gets around to it. Ah! Yeah. Used to that this morning. So, you should have your wonderful visage on the screen now. And if we go and have a look over here, we may even find that we have the actual web interface running. We do. We can actually reload that, just to prove that. So, can we get that to capture an image? Let's try. Let's pop back over here and say do capture bit, which is currently just saying go back to the index. Self.camera.capture, and we'll have to give it a file name. We'll have to give it a different file name each time. So let's say, and we'll make ourselves a counter. Actually, let's say the file name is going to be under images. So we'll store things under images. Image present 3D.jpg, counter, and then we're going to increment our counter by 1. And of course we have to initialize our counter to something. There we go, self.camera.capture to the file name and return the index. So, let's try running that. You see on the screen? There we go, okay, on the screen. Let's go over here, make sure that's still happy. Go, can we capture a new image? Aha! We have an image. Where's the usual one? Ah, there we go. We're upside down. Dear Reddit. Right, well, let's do some configuration then. Let's see.
Placed raspberry there.
So, have we got something for configuration? It just so happens I've prepared some configuration things here. So we've got brightness and contrast and saturation. Ah, look, horizontal and vertical flip. Okay, right. Let's do something with those though. At the moment, that's just HTML, so we need to actually do something. So, we're getting things through parameters. We're going to go get vflip, it's in there, otherwise make it false. Hflip is hflip, otherwise false. And then return windows. So let's try running that. Let's see when your lovely visage appears on the screen. Okay, you're not there. Just give me a second, We're going to configure and see what we can see. So we're in configure. Now what happens if I just vertical flip?
Yeah.
Are we the right way up?
Yeah.
Excellent, we're the right way up. Brilliant. Okay. Can we get you even the right way round? Because you're probably backwards at the moment. And we're hopefully the right way around as well. Ah, there we go, yeah, more or less. Correct, good. So now we can capture an image. And a little very brilliant image one. Let's see if we can get image 2 up there. Yeah, we've got image 2. There we go, right. Wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Let's go to the library. Now, can we do some of those other bits that we had there? We had a whole bunch of other little things in there, didn't we? Brightness, saturation, contrast. Okay. See if we can add those in. So camera.brightness. This is where having a library is particularly useful. If we were doing this with, say, Raspberry Still, Raspberry Bid, when you want to alter the brightness of your preview, all of a sudden you'd have to shut down the program, regenerate the command line, restart the program. Here we're just saying set a property. This is why a library is better for an interactive application like this. There's nothing wrong with Raspberry still and Raspberry Pi as far as they go, but they're not ideal for building this sort of application. If you have interactivity, you want a library. So let's have brightness. Well, that'll run out, so let's just try brightness. Come on, guys. Let's turn up the brightness and make you all washed out. There we go. Horribly bright. Yes, that is a very, very quick demonstration of integrating my camera into an interactive application. Thank you.